Good evening. Hi, everyone. Sorry about the delay. Unfortunately, to begin this meeting, we need 100 students in here, and we believe due to the weather warning today with regards to snow, we've not had as much students as we expected to turn up. So, because of that, the meeting won't be able to continue. However, we are going to show you our campaign priorities, and we'll be happy to take any questions from you. The first objective, student supporting students. Student supporting student session will continue to run every Tuesday from 4:30 to 6 p.m. starting the 5th of November. And these sessions is a chance for students to come in, have a hot drink, take a break, and have a chat with issues that are concerning them in a relaxed environment. This year I aim to run at least 20 sessions. My second objective, sexual health and consent. This year we aim to educate students on consent and how to promote healthy relationships, with also providing support to students who have been victims of sexual violence. My third objective, cost of living crisis. As we understand that our students are still battling the effects of the cost of living crisis, the officers will ensure to continue the breakfast club which runs every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, where students can come in, grab a cereal or fruit to ensure that no student is left without breakfast. My fourth objective, the Period Dignity Campaign. The Period Dignity Campaign will continue to run alongside the welfare team in the university to ensure that there are free sanitary products in every single building in the university. This is to ensure that no student is left fully disadvantaged. My fifth objective, counselling support. I will continue to lobby with the university to ensure that they employ more counselling staff and diversify the team, as well as ensure that each staff get training on approaches to cultural sensitivity in counselling. My final objective, accommodation. I'll continue to work with the SUS team to provide student support in their understanding to their rights as renters, and to ensure that we reduce the amount of students coming back saying that they did not receive their deposits.
My first object is academic support. Like every students need the support academically. Like we are here to support the every student in the different aspects. We're closely working with the student union student support to get the more student experience every time. My next objective is using artificial intelligence in academics. I'm closely working with the university artificial intelligence operational groups to wider experience for the student to learn how important to use AI in every aspect. My next objective for this meeting is employability and the placements. Frequently running the career phase for the students to wider student experience throughout the year and better future. Final objective is attendance and engagement. It is very important to attend the classes. We are approaching to every student to attend the classes to get more student experience throughout the year.
Now, the first on my objective is a cultural exchange. Now, what is cultural exchange? Cultural exchange is the ability for everyone to come together and celebrate culture in diverse ways. Now, taking at TUSU University, having a multicultural environment, one thing I aim to achieve is to bring all these students together to celebrate culture in different ways, trying to make them understand what culture means to the next person and how they can appreciate culture and also create inclusion of everyone's culture in the environment. By going on with this, I plan to organize events and activities to make sure that this happen. Also, I'm working alongside with the university to make sure that cultural exchange is something that is well celebrated and developed in the university. Also, I'm working alongside with different cultural societies in TUSU University to make sure that all students are able to express themselves in their different culture and also to be accepted. And now, what is Society Day? A Society Day is a day where all societies in TUSU University, ranging from the academic to cultural and also to the skills society or clubs, come together to create for themselves an opportunity to express who they are and also to gain new membership. Now, how is this done? On a very good day, they all gather upstairs with their stands to recruit more members into their society. Now, the Society Day is open for new students and also for the returning student. Also, in the Society Day, we also make sure that we try to improve other societies by making sure that they get more people and also boost their activities on a day-to-day basis. Also, what I also plan to do is to make sure that we create more societies, as many as possible, to fit in with everyone. For example, now we have the East Africa Society, we have the North African Society, we have the K-pop club, we have the Bangladesh, and so many more. All these societies are only possible because it's one vision that I have to make sure that there is inclusion and there is a space for everyone to express themselves. Also, one thing that I'm planning to achieve at the end of this tenure is to increase the numbers of membership in all societies. At the end of the 2024 through 2025 academic session, we should have over 5,000 people in all the societies combined. Now, the third on my list is a general support for international students. However, this support ranges from the academics to accommodation to security to safety and to the well-being at large. Going on with this, I'm working hand in hand with the President Wellbeing and also the university to make sure that the welfare and the well-being of all international students is handled with utmost care and consideration.
Yeah, obviously the SU does some really brilliant work, like the Breakfast Club, for example. I've been to that. It's a really fantastic thing, and you've all got some really good things on there. I think today has highlighted that there are, and it's not just at Teesside, but it's sector-wide, there's drop in engagement with SUs, I think, at a lot of unis. Have you guys got any kind of specific plans to address that and to kind of increase engagement with the SU from students?
Aside from the Breakfast Club, we also have what is called the TUSU Talk. That is where we make ourselves visible so we can interact with the student and also get the feedbacks from them, positive or negative, anything, so we can use it to have our meetings and also report back to the school what we have gotten from the student. Also, even if aside from the TUSU Talk, we're also visible in the lounge and activities room, and where you can come and approach us or even send us an email. Yeah, and then we're willing to get back to you immediately and sort you out.
Here's a question about societies. Also, it's a double pronged question. The second question is relating to course reps. So let's say course reps and society leaders or presidents are in a role for a single year, for a single academic year. Is there any rotation amongst these members, or are they infinite all the way through? Let's say if the tenure to study is 3 years or 2 years, they're in for the role all the way through. So I was curious.
For the societies, like the elections will be done for every year. Coming to the course reps, like those who are applying for the course reps, they can apply for every year. Those who still studying, they can apply. Those who completed their 1 year tenure, they need to apply again to be the course rep. Those who are eligible for the course rep, like after the application, those who is eligible for that position, they can only be the course rep for this year. Yeah, it's year by year basis, not same person all the time. It will be done by year basis.
No, so for the student officers, you can only apply twice, so you can only go twice in a row. So yeah, if we finish now, we want to reapply, we can, but after that, we can't reapply anymore. Same also with the societies, the chairpersons of the societies yearly needs to make, like the societies make a nomination for who they want to be the chairperson of the society. So it's a yearly thing. Yeah.
I'm currently living in Woodland Halls, and I just have a question about the garbage compound. My friend lived at Woodland Halls for the past 2 years, and she said that there has been cockroaches and rats coming out the garbage compound and into the buildings. And I just want to ask if there are any solutions or like plans to deal with that.
So with regards to the accommodation, it's the accommodation team that does deal with that. Please ensure to try and send an email to accommodations and they'll be happy to reach out to you. If you do want us to try and contact them, you can meet with us later and we can help you and show you how to reach out to them.
Hi, last one from me. So I was reading through the draft bylaws changes, and they all seem pretty reasonable in terms of what the degree assignment of roles. But there was one under the President Wellbeing's role. It says that lobbying the university on environmental issues is going to become a secondary responsibility. Now, for me, that seems like probably globally the singular most important issue kind of in the world, really. So I just wondered what the reasoning was for making that a kind of secondary responsibility for the officers, and if there's anything they're doing to kind of pressure the university and kind of encourage the university to become greener, I guess.
Oh, with regards to that question, the university's already been taking steps to become greener. We're already doing a really good job, actually. So I think that's one of the reasons why we kind of finished secondary, because we know that the university are making those steps already. So I think where our comment in that role is if the changes are starting to slow down, then I can then start lobbying that, speed it up a bit more. But at the moment, things are already going.
If I'm not wrong, when you spoke about the academic support, you told that you were working with the uni about integrating AI in different areas. So how does that work? Like, what are the kind of benefits as students we would be able to get in terms of academic perspective and come to AI?
Come to the AI. Like there is no use of AI, no use of AI in the subjects. But for this academic year, the university is included AI system to the every module regarding like for the some subjects you can use completely AI, but it like calculate system. If it is shows green, we can use the AI perfectly. If it is shows that we can't use, there is not a big sign to know to use of AI. If it is amber, we can use the AI but in the perfect manner. Even after we are using the AI for the project, we need to reference exactly where did you take that from, where did you bring that format from. Unlike if you use the ChatGPT, you need to verify the exactly where you are using. Or else if you are taking anything from any website, you need to refer to give perfect reference and citation to that. So including this thing, by including the AI, the responses for the misconducts kind of thing, it will be decreased. So most of the students in these days, they are using the AI very clip by clip. By including the AI, it will be very helpful for the students. We are doing a lot of research here through the academic works. It will be more effective from the upcoming semesters.
Hello. So I'm Fatima and I'm a past leader. So I have a question that there are many students who are struggling with their mentors or tutors in their classrooms and they are academically very depressed, like whom to ask and what to ask. They don't know anything about that. And I think they are paying that much of fees here. So I want to ask you guys, what are the strategies that you are going to build on this? Because initially we are...
Is that lobbying the university on environmental issues is going to become a secondary responsibility? Now, for me, that seems like probably globally the singular most important issue kind of in the world, really. So I just wondered what the reasoning was for making that a kind of secondary responsibility for the officers, and if there's anything you're doing to kind of pressure the university and kind of encourage the university to become greener, I guess.
With regards to that question, the university's already been taking steps to become greener. We're already doing a really good job, actually. So I think that's one of the reasons I would tend to secondary, because we know that the university are making steps. They made those steps already. So I think where I'll come in that role is if the changes are starting to slow down, then start lobbying, then speed it up a bit more. But at the moment, things are already going in against. Yeah.
Any more questions?
My question is about social media use and attendance. Like, do you have anything to improve the quality of information and engagement on social media and help increase attendance for events and activities? Or, for example, today I checked the social media like Instagram, and it's just posted 7 hours ago. So maybe some people couldn't see this before.
We are posting all of these things from the past 2 weeks, like video updates, all the web pages as well. We will keep increasing more about updating everything on the net. And related to the engagement of the students, we are running the campaigns around the building every week. We will make sure it will happen more, increase more kind of on the net.
Yes. Is it possible for society to get an annual budget for planning events?
Well, for that, just send me an email concerning that, and then I'll forward it over to the expert just and then I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll take 2 more questions before it ends.
Hello. If I'm not wrong, when you spoke about the academic support, you told that you were working with the uni about integrating AI in different areas. So how does that work? Like, what are the kinds of benefits as students you will be able to get in terms of academic perspective when it comes to AI?
Coming to the AI, like earlier, there is no use of AI, no use of AI in the subjects. But from this academic year, the universities included AI system to the every module. They got it for the some subjects we can use completely AI, but like traffic light system. If it is shows being, we can use AI perfectly. If it is shows that we can't use, there is no big sign to low to use of AI. If it is Yambo, we can use the AI, but in the perfect manner. Even after we are using the AI for that module, we need to reference exactly where did you take that from, where did you bring that format from. Unlike use the ChatGPT, you need to refer the exactly where you are using. Or else if you are taking anything from any website, you need to give perfect reference and citation to that. For including this thing, by including the AI, the responses for the misconducts kind of thing, it will be decreased. Most of the students in these days, they are using the AI very frequently. By including the AI, it will be very helpful for the students. We are doing a lot of research here, do the how it works. It will be more effective for upcoming semesters.
Thank you.
So do we have any more questions? Oh, yes, there's one person here. Yeah.
Hello. So I'm Fatima and I'm a past leader. So I have a question that there are many students who are struggling with the bid on this because initially we are here for our stakes. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, the thing is the student need to know who exactly is their mentor. Most of them really don't know who the mentor is. And now the first thing is try to identify the mentor for the student, and then also make sure that the students
send an email to the mentor, and then if there is no response or the student is feeling lost, we have the source team in the department, the SG care. Their main work is to support students with their academic works, give them academic advice, and they are there for this very purpose. So they can pop into the SU and then redirect that to the source department, or they can send an email to the source department, and then the source will pick it up from there and try to contact them, and also try to reach out to the mentor so they could get offer direction or advice.
I'm really sorry. So, the students are reaching to their mentors via emails and everything else, but they are not getting that response. Even though the classes are only have 1 or 2 classes, and after each classes, the students are in a queue to ask doubts with their tutors or supervisors. So there are many gaps between their tutors and the students, and they are not getting that much time with their tutors. Like, to see the tutors, we have to give them a mail, and we have to wait for a week for a response. We can't go within to their cabins and make it to cost us. So there are many students in my past sections having these types of doubts. I don't know how to answer them, so that's why I came here. So,
Guys, thank you very much for that. To be honest, this is our first time hearing about that. Would you like to meet with us outside this meeting, and we can sit down, kind of strategize what to do? We can kind of reach out to the right avenue so that lecturers are well, there's some point your problem and can get it sorted out. Is that okay?
Welcome to the AGM 2024. I am Chikatla, President Education.
I'm Blessing Ihuoma, President Wellbeing.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Ebubechi Azunna, and I'm President International.
I will act as a chair for today's meeting. Please note that meeting will be recorded. Please could you mute your microphone unless you wish to ask a question. All the papers have been available online for the past 3 weeks. We will keep the QR code for the SU website for a minute so that you can access the full papers. All the attendees to the meeting are entitled to free pizza voucher and will be entered into a prize draw with the 3 opportunities to win £50 Amazon voucher. Please stay online at the end of the meeting so that we can distribute the pizza and Amazon vouchers. Thank you from myself, Ebubechi and Blessing for coming to the 2024 AGM, which is a legal requirement so our student members can vote on matters about how the SU operates. There will be an opportunity to ask questions late in the meeting. Please hold them until then. The agenda shows the items we will cover tonight, and we are referring to the documents previously published on the SU website. For the reason of time, we will not be going through all the details of each agenda item, but we will explain what it is you are voting on. The key changes have already been presented to student rep form in detail for information and questions. They had no issues with any of the changes. When I announce a vote is taking place, you can either vote for against for the proposal, vote against for the proposal, or vote to abstain. You can only vote for one of the 3 options, which will be in the chat box. Please do not vote until I ask you to do so. If the agenda item says approve, it means the item need to be passed by a vote from yourself. If it says receive, then this item has already been approved by our Board of Trustees, and you are voting to receiving it for information. Moving to the agenda point 1, the minutes from the last year's meeting have been on the SU website for the last 3 weeks. Is everyone happy to vote for accepting these minutes? The voting options are now open in the chat box in the poll number 1. I will give you a minute to vote, you guys. Please scroll to the top of the chart. You can see the poll number 1. Thank you. The minutes have been approved. Moving to the agenda point 2. Ebubechi will now present the report of the trustees.
Okay, everyone. From the agenda point 2, I'm going to be presented the reports from the Board of Trustees and the SU. First of all, the report for the last year starts on page 1 and ends on page 7 of the account. So if you've downloaded the meeting online, you'll be able to see it there on page 1 and it ends on page 7 on the paper. Next, we have summarized the content on the slides. However, if you have any questions, you want to know more about the Board of Trustees, how it works or how it operates, you can kindly send an email and we'll be so glad to explain to you what it's all about. Next, please, could you vote to receive the reports from the Board of Trustees? Thank you.
The voting options are now open in the chart. Poll number 2. I will give you a minute to the vote. I'm again saying the voting options are open in the chart. Poll number 2. I will give you a minute to vote all. That has passed for receiving the summary reports of trustees. Moving to the agenda 3. Ebubechi will formally present the year-end accounts.
Okay, everyone. Agenda point 3. The independent auditors have reported that the accounts of the SU are true and fair. And the first slides summarize the SU income and spending. So if you downloaded the booklet, you will clearly see the detailed information about the accounts. Then also the next slides summarizes an overall overview of the account. Then it's quite important to know that I chair the SU Finance and Risk Committee, which reviewed and approved the accounts on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Then also kindly vote to receive the year-end account. However, if you have any questions concerning the account, you want to know more, you can send us an email and we will be glad to put you through and explain the account better to you. Thank you.
Please vote option poll number 3. I will give you a minute for the vote. That has passed for the receiving the year-end accounts. Moving to the agenda 4. Blessing will now present the amendments to the Constitution.
The SU Constitution is the main document that sets out how the SU operates. These amendments have already been approved by the SU Board of Trustees and the University Board of Governors. This meeting also needs to approve these amendments. We're making 3 changes which will improve the effectiveness of the Board of Trustees. The slide shows the 3 main changes we're proposing to you: having an extra student trustee, an extra external trustee, and the option of a co-chair to support the officer trustee chair. Changes to the Constitution require at least 2/3 of those voting to vote for them, please. Please vote to approve the amendments of the Constitution.
The voting options are now open in the chat. Poll number 4. We will give you a minute to vote. That has passed for the update of the Constitution. We are moving to the agenda point 5. Ebubechi will now present the affiliations.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to present agenda point 5. The SU affiliates to 2 main organizations and we need to approve them. First of all is the National Union of Students, which represents
students' interests national, which represents students' interests nationally, and this costs £19,630 yearly. And the next one is the NUS Trust, which provides a considerable officer training, expert advice on a wide range of matters, including elections and national purchasing of goods we sell in the SU's commercial service. And this costs us £5,889 yearly. However, if you really want to know more about these organizations, the NUS Charity and the National Union of Students Trust, kindly send an email to us and we'll be happy to tell you more about it. At this point, kindly cast your votes on this issue. Thank you.
The voting options are now open in the chart, poll number 5. I will give you a minute to vote. That has passed for affiliating of these two organizations. We are going to the agenda point 6 now. Blessing will now propose the returning officer for 2025 elections.
Your payments to the NUS includes access to the elections expertise, so we ask them to act as the returning officer for our cross-campus elections, for example, the 3 presidents. The returning officer supports successful elections and ensures that TUSU meets its legal requirement. Please vote for the NUS to be reappointed as the returning officer for this year's election.
The voting options are now open in the chart. Poll number 6. I will give you a minute to vote. I'm saying again, the voting options are open in the chart. In the poll number 6, I will give you a minute to vote. Thanks for voting. That has passed for appointing NUS as a returning officer. Moving to the agenda point 7, the Ebubechi will now present the updated bylaw of Student Union.
Agenda point 7 talks about the updated bylaw of the SU. First, the bylaw supports the main SU constitution with further details of how parts of the SU operates, including the role of the officer trustee. Also, this year, the only changes is to the officer trustee bylaw, which is already approved by the SU Board of Trustees. We have listed the changes on the handouts and the materials downloaded by most of us here, and we added the responsibility to the officers trustee to include TU London and TU College partnerships, international student recruitment, equality and diversity, health and safety, faith spaces, and accommodations. However, if you really want to know more about the duties of the officer trustees, or you want to know more about the board of trustees and the SU, kindly send an email to us or come into the SU and we'll be able to tell you more about what is going on. However, please vote to receive the bylaw concerning the officers trustees. Thank you.
The voting box in the polling is open in the chat box. Please do vote for the receive the updated bylaw. The voting that has passed for receiving the updated bylaws. Moving to the agenda point 8. Blessing will now present the election guide for 2025.
Voting for elected officer is an important legal right. We publish the guide to elections, which include the key dates and rules well in advance of election. The guide to election has been on the SU website for 2 weeks, and the key changes are summarized on the slides being showed. It's important to note that from this year onward, we will no longer require an NUS rep. Please vote to receive the guide to elections.
The voting options are now open in the chart. Poll. I will give you a minute to vote. I'm repeating. The voting options are now open in the chat. Poll. I will give you a minute to vote. That has passed for the receiving the guide of elections.